servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayer of my heart always be. Make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today.
Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayer of my heart always be. Make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayer of my heart always be.
Make me a servant,
Make me a servant, make me a servant today.
Maulang umaga po mula sa Makati City. Good morning and welcome po sa ating ikalawang Consuelo Learning Series entitled
Good Credit ang Ma-accredit.
DSWD Accreditation Webinar.
For social welfare and development agencies.
I am Angela.
And I am Dan and will be your host for today's learning session.
To officially kick off our event today, may we call on the President and CEO of Consuelo Foundation, Mr. Greg O'Berry.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Angela. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be with you today. I'm calling in from Hawaii, and I wish you aloha and mabuhay, all of you on this day. This is such a great day. The Consuelo Learning Series is a great example, and I'm so glad to be here of how we work with you. And it's not putting ourselves in the middle, but putting us together in the middle, like our partners in DSWD, and facilitating a discussion where we all learn together. So I'm thankful that you're all here to join us. I'd especially like to thank our main speaker, Leanne Kamate from DSWD. A warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your information and your experience with all of us. And also thank you to our partners who are going to share a little bit about their experience. Belle Anamosa from Young Focus, Chit Hambon from CFSPI, and Sister Corey and Maribel Adras from Hospicio de San Jose. Thank you all so much for being here, and a very special thanks, a salamat to our translator from Welcome Home. Thank you very much for being with us today and making our information and dialogue more accessible to others. So why are we talking about being certified, registered with DSWD? What are the benefits of that accreditation? From Consuelo side, that's up for you to decide. Okay, we were going to provide you the information to do it, but I wanted to share with you a little bit of some of the things that we think about at Consuelo Foundation, and that Doña Consuelo specifically asked us to think about as we kind of look at partners that we work with, and how they kind of bring our mission of prevention and treatment of child abuse and neglect. Um, Three things just that we sort of look at when we look at partners are just like, how cost efficient are your results and your operations? Like, when you look at what you do and how you do it, how are you able to efficiently and effectively meet the needs of the children? And you all do amazing work. But it's something we look at, that how we can help you be more efficient and effective. And one way to do that is looking at how you compare yourselves to others. And I think that's something that this accreditation process really helps with. It helps you compare to your peers and others to see and learn how you can be more effective and efficient. The other one is, we look at partners who demonstrate or have the potential for developing sound management practices that provide opportunities to identify, establish, or nurture effective practices. That's for your operations, how you children, and we find DSWD to have great standards, a great way to kind of help us think about how we demonstrate and realize the potential for developing sound management of both the services that we provide, but also the operations on how we do it. And finally, I think we look at organizations that incorporate a plan for monitoring and evaluation and feedback, and how you identify and formalize an effective process for your program monitoring and evaluation. And when you go through accreditation processes, it really, you get your data together and you have to present it and you look at it, and it really provides the important input to kind of looking at how you plan and how you use your information to make yourself better. And that's why I'm super excited that we're here today to have this discussion, to learn from each other about how we kind of make ourselves better, more efficient, how we give better practice to those people we serve, and finally to kind of look at how we use data and information to help us do what we do better. And those are the things we look at, and I hope you will we look at them when we look at you, and we're so proud of our partnership with you and how we work in that way with you. So I hope this inter-exchange, you'll learn some new things from one another and and make your whole work better. One thing, I really enjoyed the prayer today that opened us up to make us a servant and meek and humble. And I see that in all of us, how we work, but how to lift up children and lift up the people we serve. And I think that that's an important message today as we go in there and really approach this discussion about how we lift up the children that we serve, and how we can, through this process of accreditation, really serve them in a way that honors kind of accreditation, but also honors what we feel is important at the foundation, and that's building hope or giving hope to those who've lost it, or those who've never had it. So join us today in having hope and building hope through this interesting conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Greg, for your message. Senda naman natin siya ng heart reacts dyan sa Zoom. Once again, thank you so much, Sir Greg. So kanina sinabi natin, friend, na ikalawang learning session na natin for this year, di ba? Kung matatandaan po natin, mga kaibigan, sa Zoom ay nagkaroon po tayo ng first learning session natin sa Consuelo noong April.
Ayan, meron po kayang nakakaalala sa atin ng naging topic ng una nating CLS? Pakitype po sa chat box kung ano kaya itong topic ng una nating CLS for this year.
Oo, parang medyo similar doon sa ating topic ngayon.
Okay, meron na kaya? May nakahula na ba? Ayan. So, meron nang nakaalala ng una nating topic. So, tama po yun. PCNC Accreditation, ang una nating topic. Ngayon naman po, ngayong araw ay tungkol naman sa DSWD Accreditation ang ating pag-uusapan.
Tama ka dyan, friend. At itong ang topic na ito ay nanggaling sa kanilang feedback. Nung tinanong natin sila, ano kayang mga topics pa yung gusto nila na matutunan na makakatulong sa kanilang mga organizations?
Yan, kaya ngayong umaga, layunin natin na ma-inform ang ating mga partners sa mga benefits ng pagiging DSWD accredited, malaman yung tamang proseso, at syempre friend, yung matuto tayo sa karanasan ng bawat isa.
And speaking of bawat isa, kahit na virtual lamang tayo, no, mahalaga na makapag-hi tayo at makilala natin ang isa't isa. So we'll do a quick roll call ng mga participants natin ngayong umaga. Pasend naman po ng Zoom reacts or any reaction sa Zoom to signify your attendance.
Ayan, simulan po natin sa ating kapin partners. Una, Humanitarian Legal Assistance Foundation or HLAF.
Kasama rin natin ang Share an Opportunity or South Philippines Incorporated.
Kasama rin natin ang mga COVID response partners po natin, Marian Missionaries,
Bakyas Community Development Center Incorporated.
BYSMP Bless the Children Foundation Incorporated,
Christian Mission Service Philippines Incorporated.
Jigsaw Kids Ministry Philippines Incorporated,
Kaisahang Buhay Foundation Incorporated.
Kanlungan sa ERMA Ministry Incorporated,
Onesimo Bulilit.
Self-Reliance and Development Concokyo Center Incorporated,
Tribal Leaders Development Foundation Incorporated.
at Welcome Home Foundation.
Kasama rin natin ang mga partners natin sa ating Life Skills Plus program, pinangungunahan ng AHA Learning Center,
Balay Rehabilitation Center Incorporated,
Fund Life International Incorporated,
Paglaom Training International,
Philippine Jesuit Prison Service Foundation Incorporated,
Right Start Community Development Incorporated.
at Tambayan Center for Children's Rights Incorporated.
Kasama rin natin ang FS or Family Strengthening partner natin na Young Focus Foundation,
Siyempre kasama pa rin natin yung mga PRP partners natin, no, pinangungunahan ng Children's Garden of the Philippines,
Child and Family Service Philippines Inc.,
First Love International Ministries,
Helping Hands Healing Hearts Ministries Philippines Incorporated,
Jeremiah Foundation,
Hospicio de San Jose,
Mission to the World Philippines Foundation Incorporated,
Safe Haven Community Center and Children's Home,
Shechem Children's Home Incorporated,
Specs Foundation,
Virlani Foundation,
Visions of Hope Foundation Incorporated.
and Rohe Foundation.
Kasama rin po natin ang mga previous partners ng Consuelo, Caritas Manila,
Christian Advocates for Justice and Development, Negros Incorporated,
Concordia Children's Services Incorporated,
Divine JMJ Foundation Incorporated,
House of the Heroes Residential Care Philippines Incorporated,
Little Children of the Philippines Foundations Incorporated,
St. Louis University,
Pangarap Foundation.
at Philippine Children's Ministries Network or PCMN.
Kasama pa rin po natin sa Zoom ang ating mga government partners, pinangungunahan ng CSWDD ng Malabon,
CSWD o Bahay Pag-asa ng Valenzuela,
Philippine Legislators Committee on Population and Development or PLCPD.
at Bicol Center for Community Development Incorporated. At syempre, hello pa rin sa mga partners natin na nasa Zoom, napapasok pa lang or pahabol pa lang po. So good morning po muli sa inyong lahat.
Yes, partner, bago pa man tayo magsimula sa session natin ngayong umaga, ay nagkaroon na nga tayo ng pagtatanong sa kanila patungkol sa ating magiging session ngayon sa pamamagitan ng Training Needs Assessment.
Ayan, kaya nais namin pong i-share sa inyo yung naging resulta po ng ating survey. So meron po tayong 47 partner orgs na sumagot ng ating survey. 41% po sa mga ito ay center-based residential agency. 33% naman po ay community-based. Ang iba sa kanila ay parehas center-based at community-based. Ang ilan po ay hindi pa sigurado sa kanilang classification. 53% po ng sumagot ay kasalukuyang hindi pa DSWD accredited, pero 33% po sa mga ito ay previously na na-accredit na, 18% naman po yung kasalukuyang nag-a-apply. 47% naman po ay kasalukuyang DSWD accredited. Halos lahat ay nasa level 1, 4 ang nasa level 2, at isa naman po sa level 3. Tapos meron din pong mga partners na nag-share ng kanilang mga challenges nung kanilang application po sa accreditation. So medyo naging mahirap yung online inspection dahil nga po sa pandemic. May mga challenges sa pag-transmit ng documents sa DSWD at sa agency. Marami rin daw pong requirements na hindi exclusive sa organization. May mga bagong forms and templates. At meron din po kaming nilagay sa TNA na question portion kung saan susubukan itong sagutin ng mga speakers natin mamaya at i-address po natin ito mamaya sa ating Q&A portion.
Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing the results of our survey. Ngayon naman, para tayo ay mabuhayan, friend, dahil nga medyo mahaba-haba yung gagawin natin na pag-aaral sa umaga na ito, ay magkakaroon tayo ng isang maiksing energizer na pinamagatang zoom in, zoom out. Ayan. Paano nga ba ito laruin, friend?
Ayan, magpapakita po kami ng pictures na naka-zoom at huhulaan po ninyo kung anong object within 5 sa chat box, at kung sino po yung unang makakuha ng tamang sagot ang siyang makakakuha ng points, at yung may pinakamataas na points naman ang siyang mananalo. Ayan, so friend, tingin mo ba ready na sila?
Palagay ko ready na sila. At kung ready na sila, mag-send sila ng heart reaction.
Ayan, pa-heart reacts or kahit anong reaction sa Zoom po. Tutulungan po tayo ni na Miss Ada and Miss Mercy from Consuelo para ma-note po yung kung sino yung mga nakakuha ng tamang sagot. So para po mas madali din for you na manghula, ang category po natin ay devices. So pwedeng mechanical or electrical devices. So friend, mag-sample muna tayo para ma-ready ang kanilang mga fingers, mga keyboard warriors dyan. So, zoom in photo number 1 na sample. Ayan, in 5,
Ano kaya yan?
4, 3, 2, 1. Ayan, meron na bang nakakuha? Zoom out photo, please. Ang sagot po ay aircon.
Akalain mo yun, aircon yun.
Oh, friend, aircon yun.
Hindi masyadong
Pag
halata.
naka-zoom in, aircon.
Oo. Ayan, napakadali lamang ng ating mechanics ng ating game, no, sa ating energizer ngayon. Kaya naman, kung ready na kayo para sa totoong game, pa-send ulit ng heart reacts or any emoji sa ating Zoom box, Zoom chat box. Kung ready na, zoom in natin ang photo number 1.
Ayan, may score na po ito, number 1.
Ano kaya to? Parang ang hirap.
Kaya mo yan, friend, lalo na work from home tayo.
Oo nga, medyo kilala yan. So, bilangan na natin sila. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Zoom out, please. Akalain mo yun, mouse yun.
Yan, computer mouse ang tamang sagot sa ating zoom in photo number 1. Okay, so zoom in photo number 2. Ano naman kaya ito?
Ang hirap niya na, hindi masyadong halata.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Zoom out photo, please. Ang tamang sagot ay sasakyan o car.
Akalain mo yun? Sasakyan pala or car yun. Zoom in photo number 3, please. Ayan, ano kaya yan? Medyo mahirap-hirap to.
Yan, mechanical or electrical device. Ano kaya yan?
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Zoom out, please. Ang tamang sagot po ay headphone or headset.
Okay, ready na po ba sa zoom in photo number 4? Ayan, ano kaya yan? In 5, 4,
Meron tayo niyan ngayon.
3, 2, 1. Ang tamang sagot po ay microphone.
Microphone. Yan, mukhang ready na rin sila for photo number 5, please. Ayan, ano kaya yan? Sana inabutan nila to, no? Or baka laptop na sila agad.
Oo nga,
Ano
baka
kaya
wala
ito?
na.
5,
Ayan. May
4,
clue tayo, may
oh,
pa-throwback tayo
oo
dyan.
nga. 3, 2, and 1. Zoom out please. Ang tamang sagot po ay DVD player. Nakakamiss naman.
Yan. Ngayon ay ready na ba sa zoom in photo number 6? Ano kaya to? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pa-zoom out po. Ang tamang sagot ay electric guitar or guitar.
Ayun naman. At ang ating last photo for this icebreaker. Zoom in please. Ayan, ano kaya yan? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ang tamang sagot po ay light bulb or bombilya. Okay, so that's it for our short icebreaker. Mamaya po namin i-announce ang mga winners ng ating icebreaker.
We hope po ay nag-enjoy kayo sa ating game and energizer at na-ready po tayo para sa main discussion natin today. So friends, sino ba ang una nating makakasama?
Friend, ang makakasama natin ang ating main speaker for our session for today. Siya ay walang iba kung hindi si Miss Leanne Rose Parman, Project Development Officer 3 ng Standards Bureau, Standards Development Division ng DSWD.
Salubungin po natin ng Heart React si Miss Leanne.
Hello, good morning po everyone. Good morning, a pleasant morning po sa bawat isa. I hope that you are all good there. Medyo hindi ko po nakikita yung ibang participants, but I hope that you are well and good today. It's a bit rainy po sa labas, so please keep safe po tayong lahat. So, a pleasant morning everyone again to everyone, and I'd just like to extend our gratitude to Sir Greg Oberry and to the whole Consuelo Foundation for inviting us here this morning and opening this opportunity for every one of us. We are glad po to be with you today and in this endeavor of good credit ang Ma-accredit. So, ang ganda-ganda po ng ating title for this activity, good credit ang Ma-accredit. So, we in the department po are very much glad for this opportunity that we can share to you our processes and help you as well in this journey of becoming our partners in delivering our quality service and programs to our kababayans, especially those po in the vulnerable and disadvantaged sector. As we have prayed, as we have included in the prayer this morning, napakaganda, sabi nga ni Sir Greg po, no, make me a servant. So I hope towards the end of this presentation, we will all be joining hands in serving our nations, our kababayans po. So muli, I'm Leanne Rose T. Parman-Camante from the DSWD Standards Bureau, Standards Development Division, and I am here to present to you po the DSWD process when it comes to accreditation of our programs and services being provided to our beneficiaries. So I'd just like to share with you the mandate of our bureau. We serve as the Standards Bureau serves as the regulatory and quality assurance arm of the department. So kami po sa Standards Bureau, we are not to police any organization. Hindi po kami nandito para ipulis po kayo, but rather we are here to impose our regulations to our social welfare and development agencies to ensure that the best and the quality program and services are being served to our beneficiaries. So nawa po ito po yung ating ma-attain na tayo po ay hand-in-hand partners po para po maibigay natin yung ating the best and quality programs and services for our kababayans. So I'd like to share to you this guidelines, the DSWD guidelines on Memorandum Circular number 17 series of 2018, known as the revised guidelines governing the registration, licensing of social welfare and development agencies, and accreditation of social work and development programs and services. So these guidelines po is our standing guidelines when it comes to accreditation of our programs and services, of our SWDAs, and ito po yung ating pinaka-guidebook sa ngayon para po mula sa registration po natin, license to operate, hanggang sa ma-accredit po tayo. So ano nga po ba sino nga po ba si MC17? MC17 is a set of guidelines that aims to regulate all public and private agencies and organizations in the country that are engaged or planning to engage in providing direct or indirect social welfare and development programs and services. Kanina po doon sa sharing ng ating results of our survey, there are already some na nakapagpa-accredit na po at meron pong iba na engaged na po sila in social welfare and development programs pero hindi pa po sila nagpapa-accredit. So, it's good po to know that you are here with us because ito po yung nagpapakita ng inyong passion and dedication that you really want to be accredited someday. So yun po. So ano-ano po yung tinutungtungan nating batas on these guidelines. So the first one, we have the Section 4 of Republic Act number 10847 of 2016. Republic Act 10847 is the act on lowering the age requirement for applicants taking the board exam for social workers, providing for continuing social work education, and upgrading the sundry provisions relative to the practice of social work. So dito po sa Section 4, nasasaad po ng dito po sa Section 4 ng Republic Act 10847, nasasaad po yung ating registration with the Department of Social Welfare and Development, wherein it stated that no social welfare and development agency or SWDA, as defined herein, shall operate and be accredited as such unless it shall first have registered and secured a license with the DSWD, which shall then issue the corresponding registration certificate and license to operate. So, ibig sabihin po, malinaw po sa ating batas na tayo po dapat ay nag-ooperate with necessary permit and we are duly registered with the department. The second one is the Section 26 of Rule 5 of Professional Regulatory Board for Social Workers, Resolution number 03, Series of 2017. Ito naman po yung implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act 4373, known as the Act to Regulate the Practice of Social Work and the Operation of Social Work Agencies in the Philippines. And then the third one, we have Article 4 of Sections 24 and 25 of RA 4373 of 1965. Dito po nasasaad in Section 24, the financial aid by the government agency or instrumentality, wherein is stated po that no government agency or instrumentality shall give financial or other aid to any social work agency unless they have been duly registered with Social Welfare Administration. And also on the Section 25, dyan naman po nasasaad that the certificate of registration issued to any social work agency may be revoked if after due investigation, the Social Welfare Administration finds that it has failed to perform the function as social work agency. And then the next one and the fourth one is the Section 3 of Republic Act number 5416 of 1968, wherein it stated po yung powers and duties po ng DSWD as a department po for development and implementation of comprehensive social welfare program. And then, of course, we have the Presidential Decree number 603. Sino po ba ang nakakaalala ng ating PD 603? Ayan, I hope everyone knows PD 603, no? PD 603 is the Child and Youth Welfare Code. Under Article 118, dito po nasasaad that no private person, natural or juridical, shall establish either temporarily or permanently any child welfare agency without first, again, securing a license from the Department of Social Welfare. So any child welfare agency such as the Consuelo Foundation na kanina nga po pinresent nila, we are all required to first secure a license with the department. And Article 120 naman po states the revocation of or suspension of license if after notice and hearing, meron pong nakita tayong failure as to the delivery of the program. And then we have the section 3 of chapter 1 and sections 24, 25, 26 of chapter 10, title 16 of the EO 292, otherwise known as the Administrative Code of 1987. And then the last one, we have the sections 2 and 3 of Executive Order 221 series of 2003, wherein it stated once again the roles and functions of the department. So, eto po, medyo marami-rami po tayong batas na sinasandalan for this. But rest assured, ang sinasabi po niyan ay tayo pong lahat na mga social welfare and development agencies ay nararapat na dapat meron po tayong hawak na we are duly registered and licensed with the department and before we are being accredited with the department. So ano nga po ba si SWDA? Kanina pa po ako nagbabanggit ng SWDA. Ano po ba si SWDA? Kami po ba ay SWDA? So lahat po tayo, narinig ko po kanina that we are all SWDA here. So to further elaborate, Social Welfare and Development Agency or SWDA, this refers to a non-stock, non-profit corporation, organization, or association implementing. So kahit kung nag-i-implement na po kayo or intending pa lang po to implement either directly or indirectly social welfare and development programs and services in the Philippines and assessed as having the capacity to operate administratively, technically, and financially. Its clients may include but not limited to the poor, disadvantaged, and vulnerable individuals, groups, families, and communities. So naka-highlight po dyan yung ating directly or indirectly. So when we say directly, this means a direct provision of social welfare and development programs and services. It means that may direct intervention po tayo as an organization or as a SWDA to the beneficiaries of direct intervention of social work intervention. So when we say indirect naman po, it means we are conduits. We provide technical assistance. Ganun po. We provide aids, help po para ma-provide yung ating social work intervention po sa ating mga beneficiaries. Also highlighted on this slide is the we are being assessed as to having the capacity to operate administratively. So when we say administratively, it means we have the right facility para po sa inyong mga target beneficiaries. Administratively, you are capable to operate and to function to provide the program and services to our beneficiaries. And then, of course, technically, it means you have the technical know-how on how to intervene to the needs of our beneficiaries, of what they need. So para po ma-address natin yung mga pangangailangan po nila. And of course, financially, we have to have the capacity to operate financially po. No? In any organization, kailangan po natin ng financial support, kailangan po natin ng financial capability. So, of course, when we say financial, we have the capacity and the allocation po. No? Like for example, nag-pandemic po tayo, we can attest or we are sure that we can operate despite of having the pandemic or having any other emergency so that yung ating beneficiary, they will not suffer po. So next, ano-ano po yung criteria para tayo ay matawag na isang SWDA? So when the first one, we are engaged mainly or generally in social welfare and development activities. So when we say mainly or generally po, this means that the department or the DSWD through the Standards Bureau or the Standard Section of our field offices will check your SEC registration po. No, we will base on the declared purpose of the client or the applicant. If the purpose is in purview of social work and development, po, and based on your articles and incorporations. So, and we will check, the assessors will check if majority of your purpose is again in the social work and development purview. Kumbaga po, predominantly, dapat po ang services and programs na inyong sineserve ay within the purview of social welfare and development. Okay? So next criteria is you have employed a sufficient number of duly qualified staff and or registered social workers. Of course, meron po tayong mga social work interventions, then we really need ample number, enough number or of qualified registered social workers po para mabigay po yung necessary intervention. The next one, submit a duly certified financial statement, ratio of at least 70% for direct social work services and 30% for administrative services. Fourth one is with financial capacity to operate for at least 2 years. Kagaya nga po ng nabanggit ko kanina, since we all experience pandemic, no? Kunyari wag naman po sana, no? Magka-pandemic is that we are able to justify that we are capable to operate at least 2 years kahit na magkaroon ng lockdown, kahit magkaroon ng emergency, although we are not praying for that, no? And next is we keep records of all our social work and development activity that this agency implements. Now, in case you are a new applicant SWDA applying to operate a residential care facility, the applicant must establish the need for a residential facility serving a particular sector and the absence of related facility to cater them. Like for example, situationer. So ito po, itong ating criteria here presented on your screens, it's for us in the department to know, kumbaga para po ma-assure natin na hindi naman po tayo dikit-dikit. Since for example, in one community, meron ng residential facility and gina po na able siya to facilitate yung mga needs ng nasa community niya, no? So, kaya po para makita po natin at mas maganda po, no, na maikalat po natin para din po sa ibang nangangailangan sa ibang community. Okay? So, regulation po is done through, there are 3 levels or there are 3 processes. The first one is the registration. So with registration po, I believe lahat po tayo ay registered with the DSWD kasi sabi kanina we are all SWDAs, no? When we say registration, this refers to the process of assessing the applicant organization to determine whether its intended purpose is within the purview of social welfare and development. So kagaya nga po ng nabanggit natin kanina, the DSWD will assess your SEC registration to check if yung inyo pong purpose talaga ay nasa social work, social welfare and development, where the determination of the same shall result to the inclusion of the agency in the department's registry of SWDAs. So after which, a certificate of registration shall be issued after having complied with all the prescribed requirements. So dito po, after your registration, may include na po kayo sa listahan po namin sa department. So the second process is through the licensing. When we say licensing po, no, this refers to the process of assessing the qualifications and authorizing a registered SWDA to operate as a social work agency or as an auxiliary SWDA. A license to operate shall be issued after having complied with the set criteria and all prescribed requirements. So as we can see here, as I have mentioned a while ago, for registration, as wala pa po tayong kumbaga juridical personality. However, you are already registered in our list, no? But the one that gives you the juridical capacity is the licensing. Ito na po yung nagbibigay sa atin ng authority para tayo po ay mag-operate talaga as a social work agency. And then the last one is the accreditation. Accreditation refers to the process of assessing all licensed social work agency if the social welfare development programs and services are compliant to the department's set standards. After compliance of the same, a certificate of accreditation shall be issued as proof of official recognition of the quality delivery of social welfare and development programs and services. So dito po, ang tinitingnan na po natin ay yung mismong programa at serbisyo na ibinibigay po ng inyong ahensya sa ating mga beneficiaries. So dito po titingnan na po natin kung nasa quality standards po tayo at titingnan po natin yung mga sineserve po ninyo na programa sa inyong facility. So bakit po? Why is there a need to be registered, licensed, and accredited? So the first one is compliance with the law. As I have discussed in the first part, no, marami po tayong nasasaad na batas. So we have to comply with the law so that to ensure na hindi po, of course, so that as we are to be sure that we are not violating any laws, any policies that are present here in our country. And the second one is recognize the vital contributions of our social welfare and development agencies. Of course, nais po namin na makita yung mga best practices po ninyo, yung mga contribution nyo to our society. Which is very, very helpful po para sa ating nation. And that contribution, we are able to share it with other organizations who has the intent to. For example, may intention sila to build a SWDA as well. O di ba po? Maganda po that we are able to share those vital contributions for our society rin naman po, for the benefit of our kababayan. The third one is to ensure quality of programs and services. Kanina po natin nabanggit na ang gusto po natin ay maibigay natin yung best na service. Hindi lang po yung nagtayo tayo ng isang organization, tapos yun na yun, di ba? But rather, we want to provide the best na programa at serbisyo na deserve din po ng ating mga beneficiary. And then the last one is to establish partnership between and among SWDAs. So we have this area-based social work networks, no? Wherein tayo po ay nalilink in din sa mga kasama natin sa SWDA. And then at the same time, pag na-link in po tayo sa ating mga partner SWDAs, we are able to share our contributions, yung mga best practices natin, and then we are able to enhance our processes, our programs, our services, di ba po? Mas maganda so that we are able to alleviate yung mga programa natin at serbisyo po natin. So with that, ito po yung classification or category of our SWDAs under MC17 series of 2018. Pasensya na po, naputol pa rin po yung mga letters. So, makikita po natin dyan that under SWDA, there are two types. The first one is public SWDA, no? And the second one is the private SWDAs. So let's go first with public SWDAs. The public SWDA, these are managed by national government agencies or local government units who are exempted. Again, public SWDAs are exempted from registration and licensing, but its social work and development activities and programs and services are due for accreditation. So bakit po sila exempted from registration and licensing? Of course, dahil po sila po ay managed na po ng government. So they are expected na they are duly registered and accounted na po sa listahan po. But again, their accreditation, their programs and services are subject for accreditation pa rin po natin. So under public SWDA, there are two types. We have the residential. The first one is the residential, which is managed by the DSWD and the LGU, such as yung mga reception and study center for children po natin, and your regional rehabilitation center for youth or the RRCY. And then we have the non-residential, which is again managed by DSWD, non-government agencies, and LGUs po, such as yung mga senior citizen centers po natin, vocational rehab center, and mga ECCD centers po natin. And then let's go with the private SWDAs. The private SWDAs are non-stock, non-profit organizations duly established and or recognized under the Philippine laws performing social welfare and development activities. So under po nito, there are two types. The first one is the SWA or the Social Work Agency, wherein it is a private SWDA that directly engages in social welfare and development programs and services, whether center-based or community-based, using yung ating mga social work interventions po, like yung casework, group work, or community organizing. Also, they employ full-time or part-time social worker. So, under po ng social work agency, there are two types again. We have the center-based and the community-based. So, for center-based, these are social welfare and development. These are facilities that provide social welfare and development programs and services that are rendered in physical structure or facility. Kumbaga po, talagang may facility sila. So for residential, under center-based, again, there are two types. So under center-based, the first one is residential, which provides 24-hour group care services within a therapeutic environment towards rehabilitation. And then the second one is the non-residential, wherein provision of service in a physical structure for a number of hours or days, but not beyond 2 weeks. Okay? So, meron lamang po siyang binibilang na araw o oras, pero hindi po siya dapat lumagpas ng 2 linggo. And then the community-based is the provision of services rendered in a community while they still remain in their homes and or families. So, kanina po, no, nakita po natin doon sa survey result, mas marami po yung mga center-based po natin. And then meron din po tayong, of course, community-based, and meron yung mix yung facility po nila. And then we have the auxiliary SWDA. Auxiliary SWDAs, they provide social work and development indirectly po, no? Through provision of funds or in-kind or capacitation of yung mga social work agencies po natin. Like they provide trainings, research, or advocacy. So sample of which are People's Organization, Resource Agency, and yung mga social work and development networks po natin. So overall, kung titingnan po natin, ito po yung ating classification and category of our SWDAs. So to give you a overview, to give you an overview of the MC17 series of 2018, again, for regulatory service na registration, ang ina-assess po natin ay yung purpose po natin if within social work and development purview po tayo. And what do we give? It's a confirmation at ang coverage ay all private SWDAs. For license to operate, we assess the administrative, the financial, and technical capacity of the SWDA. So what do we give? The department gives legal authority po to all private SWDAs. And for accreditation, we assess the quality of your programs and services, and we give recognition for the programs and services of the social welfare agencies. So with that, let us proceed with accreditation. So paano po nangyayari yung accreditation po natin? Sabi natin, ang ina-accredit po natin ay programs and services po. So kailan po tayo dapat mag-apply? We will apply for accreditation. If we are new applicant for accreditation, it must be within the 3-year license validity period po natin. Kasi yung mga license po natin, license to operate, may validity period of 3 years po yan. If you think na pagka-issue po ng inyong license sa inyo, you are capable to undergo the accreditation, pwede na po kayong mag-apply. Basta po within the 3-year license validity period. And if you for renewal po, for example, you're already accredited and you will apply again for accreditation, you must apply 90 working days before the expiration. So where to apply po? Dito po kayo mag-a-apply sa amin sa DSWD Central Office Standards Bureau. For the fees and processes, we have a fee of 1,000 per program. Okay, per program po na i-apply po natin for accreditation. So for example, you have 7 programs and services being rendered in your center or in your SWDA, and gusto nyo po lahat yon ipa-accredit, then 1,000 times 7 po yung ating magiging fee. So hindi po siya per SWDA po, kundi per program. And then you will undergo a pre-accreditation assessment, desk review, and assessment visit. And may total po na processing time niya na 20 working days. So kindly remember po that for pre-assessment, if you are a new or first-time applicant, ang magpi-pre-assess po, magkakonduct ng pre-assessment po sa inyong SWDA ay ang DSWD Field Office na concerned po sa inyong SWDA. kung nasaan po kayo nakalocate. If you are for renewal naman po, self-assessment na po ang ating gagawin. So only application for accreditation with complete prescribed requirements shall officially be received by the department. Also, remember that accreditation assessment shall be conducted to applicants found with submitted complete requirements. This shall be based on agreed schedule between the DSWD and applicant SWDA. So, yun po, kailangan po na kumpleto yung ating mga requirements. So, for accreditation po, we have this leveling. No, depende po kung ano po yung ma-attain nyo na scores. We will base on your scores yung level po ng inyong accreditation. So, if na-attain nyo po yung level 1 accreditation, the validity of your accreditation certificate will be 3 years. If you're level 2, the accreditation certificate will be valid for 5 years. And if you are level 3 accredited, 7 years po ang validity ng inyong certificate. So again, friendly reminder po that as stated in Section 24, that no social welfare and development agency shall operate and be accredited as such unless, so hindi po tayo pwede magpa-accredit unless we are duly registered and we have secured a license with the DSWD. So let us proceed with the benefits and incentives of being licensed and or accredited SWDA. So ano po yung makukuha po namin as a SWDA pag nagpa-accredit kami or pag nagpa-lisensya kami? So the first one, if you're a licensed SWDA, ang inyo pong benefits, what the department provide you is that you will be eligible to become a member of the ABSNet or the Area-Based Social Work Network po natin, no? Wherein, kasama niyo po doon yung iba nating mga SWDAs. Again, as I have mentioned a while ago, you will be able to share good practices, share your thoughts, or if you are having challenges within the agency or in the processes, paano yung ginawa nila, paano po nila inasikaso yung mga naging challenges po nila at hinarap. Also, you will be given the participation in DSWD's capability building and skills enhancement. You will have endorsement for duty-free entry of foreign donations subject to compliance, of course, with our requirements, and other benefits, incentives, and recognitions that may be provided as deemed appropriate by the department. Now, if you're a public SWDA and private SWA with accredited naman po social welfare and development programs and services, ito naman po yung additional na pwedeng mai-provide na benefits and incentives ng department aside from being a licensed SWDA. So the first one is financial subsidy or resource augmentation for program implementation subject to availability of funds and compliance with other DSWD guidelines and requirements. Also, the recommendation for at least 50% discount on service utilities subject to compliance with the DSWD and utility service providers. This is for residential and non-residential private SWAs catering to senior citizens. And then you will also have, of course, the letter or plaque of recognition. Okay, sorry, I don't think my presentation is moving. We have additional. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry. Ayan, sige po. I've lost my presentation. Anyway, we have additional benefits po for accredited level 2 or 3 SWDAs. The first one is nomination for travel local and abroad to participate in relevant training or conferences as part of the Philippine delegation, if any. So, sometimes po, nai-invite tayo for ASEAN, APEC, no? If they have open slots, then pwede po tayong manominate for travel local and abroad to participate. Also, we provide grant of cash incentive depending on availability of funds. The cash incentive shall be used to augment the SWDA's programs, expenses, and funds shall be charged against po sa aming budget. So the amount of cash incentive shall not be lower than 30,000 pesos for level 2 accredited. Again po, cash incentive for level 2 shall not be lower than 30,000 pesos. And for level 3 accredited SWDAs, minimum of 50,000 pesos. And then additional benefit or incentive is that you will be recommended for trainings and research like yung lakbay aral po for level 3 accredited SWDAs. So I just like to share additional for regulatory policies since we have been through the pandemic. So we adopted some new normal processes. So during that time po, thank you so much. Sige po, next slide please. I'm not in the up po, up. Sige po, up please. Thank you so much. Regulatory, yeah, down. Thank you. Down po. Yeah, sige po. Thank you po. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. And just like to reiterate this one po, now as I have mentioned again, for level 2, cash incentives will not be lower than 30,000 pesos, and for level 3, minimum of 50,000 pesos. And you can be recommended for trainings and research for lakbay aral. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, next slide. Thank you so much. For the documentary requirements, we understand, the department understands that we have undergone these difficulties during the pandemic po, no, to comply with other requirements. Like for example, yung mga SEC documents po natin and others, since some of the government agency also locked down, were being affected of the lockdown. So, kaya po, during this time and since pandemic pa naman po, we are able to have this undertaking for lacking documents from SEC. So meron po tayong pipirmahan para po sa mga documents na hindi pa po natin makocomply. Although for today po, since back to normal naman na po almost ang lahat, so most po ay talagang nakakapag-comply na po with our documents. And then we have the NCIP or the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples documents or as requirement. This is no longer required po by the department. Now, for handling of complaints of Field Office Review Committee and Central Office Review Committee, we adopted po like video teleconferencing, and other alternative modes of communication. Like for example, the one that we are using today, virtual po tayo, no? But now, we also have of course, again, we are back to normal. Nag-face-to-face na rin po tayo ng mga ating review committee meetings. So I think that ends my presentation this morning. If you have any questions, you may drop down your questions sa atin pong chat box and later on we will discuss them all. Again, a pleasant morning everyone and please keep safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you po ulit, Miss Leanne. So friend, ang daming na-explain ni Miss Leanne sa atin katulad ng differences ng registration, ng licensing, pati ng accreditation, lalo na yung benefits ng accreditation. So isa doon sa natatandaan ko ay yung pagiging sigurado na best talaga yung quality ng ating programs and services na ibibigay natin sa ating mga stakeholders. So para po sa mga may katanungan para kay Miss Leanne, feel free po to type in your questions sa ating chat box at later po sa ating Q&A portion ay sasagutin po natin ito.
Sa dakong ito, friend, ay magkakaroon tayo ng maiksing eye break, CR break, beauty break, or coffee break, but never heartbreak. Kaya naman makikita po namin kayo. We will return after 5 minutes.
Welcome back po! Dadako na po tayo sa susunod na bahagi ng ating programa. Meron po tayong sharers mula sa Young Focus, Child and Family Service Philippines Inc. or CFSPI at mula po sa Hospicio de San Jose. So i-share po nila sa atin ngayon ang kanilang naging karanasan sa DSWD Accreditation.
Kaya naman kung meron po kayong mga katanungan habang sila po ay nag-share, mangyaring i-type lamang po ito sa ating chat box sa Zoom at babalikan po natin ito during our Q&A portion. At ang una nga nating mag-share sa umagang ito ay si Miss Wabel Animoza. Siya ay Assistant Director for Programs and Operation of Young Focus Foundation, a non-profit organization working for the welfare of children, youth, and families in the Smoky Mountain communities of Tondo, Manila. Let's all welcome Miss Wabel with heart reactions.
Hello po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at welcome po sa second learning session ng Consuelo Foundation and maraming salamat po sa pag-invite sa amin para i-share yung aming experience sa DSWD Accreditation. So again, ako nga po pala si Wabel or Bel na lang po mula sa Young Focus. And ngayon pong umaga, i-share ko po sa inyo kung bakit po ba pinipili ng Young Focus na magpa-accredit sa DSWD. So, ano po bang benefit ng pagkakaroon ng accreditation? Kami po sa Young Focus ay under level 1 accreditation. And nagsimula po kami, una pong accreditation ng Young Focus ay noong 2015. And from there on po, continuously nagpa-renew po kami ng aming accreditation sa DSWD. So, ngayong umaga gusto ko pong i-share yung benefits ng level 1 accreditation para sa amin. So, meron po akong 3 C's na gustong i-share. Una is yung connection. So para po sa Young Focus, mahalaga po yung accreditation because of our connections. Most of our partners, funders, look for our accreditation and mga registration and licenses. And nabanggit po ni Ms. Leanne kanina, maraming salamat po sa pag-share ng procedures and processes para makapagpa-accredit po sa DSWD is na lalagay po tayo sa database ng DSWD and dahil po dyan maraming mga corporations or mga iba pa pong mga agencies ang nakakakita sa atin kung sakaling gusto nilang magbigay ng tulong at mag-suporta po sa ating mga programs and services. Bukod po dyan is having an accreditation allows us to easily access grants and support from funding corporations. So dahil nga po tinitingnan nila yung mga registration and licenses, ang pagkakaroon po nito is mas nakakapagpadali po para sa amin para makapag-connect sa mga bagong partners po and funders. Ganon din po, it helps us to attain more accreditations and registration. So ang pagkakaroon po ng accreditation allowed us to have our PCNC donee status and ganun din po ay ginagamit namin para sa aming mga tax exemption with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. And sa totoo lang po, not having our accreditation affects our other accreditations and registrations. So ito pong lahat ay konektado para po sa ating operations and sa maayos na governance ng ating organization. Pangalawang C po ay credibility. So sa Young Focus, we aim that we have quality. We have the quality of being trusted and believed in. And isa po sa mga nakikita naming paraan para kami ay maging quality sa mata ng aming mga partners ay ang pagkakaroon po namin ng accreditation. And we want to make sure that we operate with integrity and accountability and proper governance. And dahil nga po dyan, it helps to know the standards that is available. And nandyan po ang DSWD upang ipakita at ipaalam sa atin kung ano ang standards na available para po sa ating mga SWDA, as well as the best practices of delivering our programs and services sa ating mga stakeholders, sa ating mga clients and beneficiaries. And even po, ang ating mga kasamahan na SWDA, whom we also learn from, katulad ng sinabi ni Ms. Leanne, we also have yung ABSNet po, which is also, ang Young Focus ay actively participating sa ABSNet West Cluster po. And lastly po is Caliber. caliber because we want to continuously improve our systems and processes according to the standards available. And syempre po sa Young Focus, we owe it to our stakeholders to give them the standard of services that they deserve. And gusto po namin na bilang isang organization na nag-work sa Smoky Mountain, sa Tondo, Manila, is that we have a top-notch character and level of ability para sa aming communities, para po sa mga children, youth, and families that we are supporting and we are partnering with in our communities. And syempre po, sa pag-accredit, meron po tayong mga challenges na kakaharapin para po sa atin sa lahat ng nagpa-accredit na or nagpa-renew. I'm pretty sure that we also experience some challenges. And sa amin po, meron din po kami mga challenges na experience habang kami ay nagpapa-accredit. So, meron din po akong tatlong challenges na gustong i-share sa atin. Una, yung documentation, yung new system, at pangatlo, yung pandemic. So, kami po sa Young Focus, yung aming recent na accreditation ay nangyari nung 2020 kung saan kasagsagan po ng pandemic. So, una po yung pag-produce lahat ng pag-collect and completing ng documents. So, syempre po maraming mga modes of verification dun sa assessment tool ng DSWD. So, we have to prepare for that. And yung new system, so first time rin po namin noong 2020 na magpa-accredit under the new MC number 17. So, may mga new forms, may mga new documents wala kami previously na kailangan namin i-apply o ihanda. At syempre, yung pangatlo po, dahil pandemic po, ang naging evaluation po sa amin ay online. So, nakakapanibago po, but katulad ng sinabi rin ni Ms. Leanne, meron pong grace ang DSWD in providing yung mga documents na kailangan natin. And nagkaroon po kami ng online evaluation. So, we have to find a way that we could present yung documents sa aming evaluator nang mas madali at mas madali yung proseso because nga po online yung procedure. So, paano po ba yung ginawa namin? Ano po ba yung mga tips na pwedeng ibigay ng Young Focus sa aming mga kapwa SWDA? So, una po, alam na nating lahat na napakahalaga po na tayo ay organized. So, napakahalaga po that we plan ahead so that we are not overwhelmed by the time na tayo po ay magpa-accredit or magre-renew ng ating accreditation. Sa amin po sa Young Focus, we make it a practice that we're not only preparing just because we are doing or will be undergoing the accreditation, but we want to incorporate that in our standards of operation. So ano man pong natutunan namin or mga kakulangan namin dun sa assessment is we make sure that we will practice that and adapt that the next time or in the long run inside Young Focus. And so para rin po hindi pa balik-balik yung mga documents natin at walang kulang by the time that we will be evaluated by our assessor. Pangalawa po is make it easy. Make it easy po para kanino? Para sa ating evaluator to review yung documents. So we created, that time po nung online ng aming accreditation, we created an Excel template where all the list of the mga mode of verification is nandoon at binangga po namin sa lahat ng available documents na meron kami para po madali namin makita kung ano pa yung mga kulang na mga documents na kailangan namin. And actually po, in fact, we were commended by our assessor, si Ms. Mutia, kasi sinabi niya that time, dahil bago rin para sa mga evaluators na online, sabi niya, mas napadali para ma-review ko yung inyong mga documents. So, we adapted that practice even po sa aming recent renewal ng aming registration and license to operate sa field office. And after a month lang po, is nakuha na namin yung aming renewed registration and license to operate. And pangatlo po, is partner and be accountable. We welcome technical assistance and transparency with the department and other agencies to make sure that we are doing our programs according to their standards. And syempre po, get help where we need help. One of the things that we appreciate sa DSWD and even sa Consuelo Foundation are the assessment tools that they are providing, like yung sa accreditation assessment tool and yung OCA tool ng Consuelo, because it allows us to self-evaluate and see where we can improve and where we are lacking, so that ang vision naman po natin is same towards serving our stakeholders. So it's actually a good time to self-evaluate and welcome practices that we can actually adopt in our organization to improve our overall operation. So ipapakita ko lang po yung template na ginawa namin. So lahat po nandiyan. So binabangga namin siya with hyperlinks para in the next years is makikita namin kung ano yung mga documents na nagawa na namin or available na. And even po yung level 2, check po namin yan, although we are on level 1, para po makita namin kung gaano na yung chance namin na makapag-proceed sa level 2 na accreditation. So, ayun lamang po. So, I hope may natutunan po tayo ngayong hapon mula sa aming organization. At kung meron po man kayong katanungan, feel free to connect with us using this platform sa aming website, sa aming Facebook, and even dito po via Consuelo Network. So maraming salamat po, and I hope that we are all safe and healthy ngayong umaga.
Thank you so much, Miss Bell of Young Focus. Alam ko na maraming natutunan yung ating mga participants ngayong umaga sa naging sharing ni Miss Bell, no? Pero gusto ko lang i-highlight yung tatlong parte na diniscuss niya or shinare niya. Sabi niya merong mga benefits. Una sa benefits yung connection, pangalawa yung credibility, and then caliber. Sa mga challenges naman, sabi niya, nagkaroon sila ng challenges doon sa documentation, sa new system, and doon sa COVID-19. At ang kanyang mga naging tips ay organize, make it easy for the assessor, and partner, and be accountable. Paalala lamang po para sa ating mga participants na kung meron po kayong katanungan, pwede pa rin po ninyong isend yan or i-type po yan sa ating chat box dito sa Zoom. Kaya naman hindi na rin natin papatagalin, no, partner. Meron tayong next na share sa umagang ito at iyon ay si Miss Chit Habon, Program Manager of Child and Family Service Philippines Incorporated, a non-profit organization in the Cordillera region. Let's all welcome Miss Chit with Heart Reactions.
Good morning, everyone. Yan, nice seeing you po dyan sa Zoom, pero hindi namin kayo nakikita. Ganon yan. Very cold morning for us, for all of us, kasi ang ginaw-ginaw dito sa Baguio dahil sa Bagyo. Yan, I would like to share kung ano naman yung practice namin dito sa CFSPI regarding doon sa accreditation po. Okay. Bali kami po, since mga 2,000, mga ganun po, level 1 lang yung nakukuha ng CFSPI. But then yung ngayon lang po na nangyari, we got level 2 na DSWD accreditation. Yan. Why? Bakit kami nagpa-accredit or bakit kami nagpapa-accredit ever since? Ito po yung mga rason. As mentioned a while back, to become eligible implementing entity. Diba yung maging legal to operate legitimately, thus we can continuously serve more children and other beneficiaries dito sa Cordillera region. Tapos second, betterment of the policies. Halimbawa kasi dito, through the DSWD or yung visit ng mga nasa Standards Bureau natin, nakakapagbigay sila ng suggestions or inputs kung paano natin pagagandahin pa, paano pa natin mag-innovate, paano pa natin gagawin pa sa mas higher pa na level ng quality of services, yung services na natin na ginagawa. Yun. As to our experience, ito naman yung ma-share ko sa inyo. Yung sa experience, medyo challenging siya actually. Dahil ngayon, nasanay tayo na sila yung pumupunta dito sa atin. In person sila na pumupunta. Tapos gayon biglang online. So yung experience namin, nagtanong-tanong kami sa mga linkages natin gaya ng helping hands kasi mas nauna sila. And then nagkaroon kami ng close coordination with the Standards Bureau dito sa CAR, yung sa regional office natin. And that, yun din nakatulong din kasi yung monitoring and evaluation na program ng organization natin kasi na-fast track natin kung kailan ba mag-expire, ganon kasi doon tayo nag-start. So before na mag-expire yung accreditation natin, we made sure na 6 months pa lang, nag-prepare na talaga kami. Inuna namin simultaneously na yung mga certificates sa fire, building, water, ganon. And then simultaneously, nakikoordinate na din kami with the Standards Bureau. Kaya doon namin na-access yung self-assessment tool wherein we made sure na lahat ng mga andun na MOVs, lahat ng criteria, we made sure na lahat ng minimum, chinek namin. And then pang level 2, chinek din namin para at least alam namin. And then level 3, kasi level 3 yung sinet namin na goal, we made sure na available sana yung mga yon. Ganon. And then, we made nung visit kasi ng pre-assessment ng DSWD na region natin, doon na lahat ng mga suggestions nila, recommendations nila, lalong-lalo na doon sa COVID-19 policies, we made sure na before na ma-endorse kami doon sa Standards Bureau na Central Office, dapat established na siya, planchado na siya. So every now and then na gumagawa kami ng policies, kino-coordinate namin sa regional office. Tapos yung yun na, nangyari na yung accreditation na online, doon nagtulong-tulong lahat ng admin namin, finance, and then sa program. Lahat ng mga documents needed na andon, we made sure na andito lahat, na nakapresent lahat para very easy for the accreditor na makita, ganun. Tapos easier for us to present also, ganun. And then during the accreditation kasi, nag-require sila na mag-interview ng clients, ng mga kasama namin, lalo na yung mga house parents and social workers. We prepared them. Part ng preparation namin, at least na-orient namin sila. Yun. And then, nung na-receive na namin yung level 2 accreditation, after 1 year, meron kasing pumunta ulit na nag-monitor from the central office. So yung preparation ulit namin doon, nilagay lang namin kung ano yung mga nakalagay doon sa coordination letter nila. Tapos, we made sure na present lahat yung mga requirements na yun. Okay? Yun po yung experience namin as SWDA na na-accredit ngayong anong 2021. Okay? Yan. Ito po si CFSPI. Ito po yung pinaka-entrance. Yan. And then yan. We made sure na lahat ng mga ito nakikita talaga sa conspicuous na space. Sample po ito ng mga preparations na ginawa namin. Bali yan po yung function hall, dining area, ganyan. And then we have our clinic, computer area, learning resource center ng mga bata. And then counseling room. Lahat ng mga andun doon sa criteria, kung ano man yung mga, sa structure man yan, kung ano yung nasa, nakalagay doon sa self-assessment, we made sure na na-meet namin. Ganon. So yan, we have our playroom. We have our, dapat open space na pinagkakandakan ng case con. And then yung, kung tumatanggap kami ng mga bisita. Ganon. Okay, we have the dining area for the children, living area. Yan. As to the benefits naman, ito tatlo yung nailagay ko dito, organization, benefit niya sa CFSPI mismo, the staff in the program, and then the community. So organization, siguro number 1 na nakita ko doon, nakikita namin is yung maintaining of the brand or yung flagship ng CFSPI. Since dito sa Cordillera, very high yung regard nila sa CFSPI when it comes to quality service. Kaya yun yung gusto namin na sana ma-maintain pa rin yun. Kasi yun nga yung quality of programs and services na nakukuha at naibibigay natin. Okay? And then yun nga yung isa is strengthen partnership with LGUs man yan, LGU, sa other line agencies. Tapos sa mga networkings, as mentioned a while back, sa schools, and then sa community mismo. And then isa rin na nakita namin na benefit is yung sa benchmarking. Ito nga yung na-mention kasi kanina is yung good practices. Dahil sa status na ito na na-maintain ng CFSPI, we are being recommended by our partners din na dito mag-benchmark. Dito tayo nakakapag-share ng mga good practices na pwede nating i-impart sa ating mga partners, ganun, para naman mas matulungan din sila sa accreditation nila or para mas maging quality yung services na na-provide sa mga beneficiaries or stakeholders nila. Okay? Yan po. As to the program naman, dahil sa accreditation, yun nga yung accountability ganon, we maintain the quality of service. Yun nga sinabi din kanina na kahit na-accredit man kami o hindi, at least we made sure na quality service yung nakukuha ng mga bata natin. And then yun, yung isa din is yung reward. Syempre, yung 30,000 is more than enough to support yung ibang pangangailangan ng mga bata natin. And then dahil dito sa accreditation na to, marami continuous referral ng mga partners natin due to trust and confidence. Kasi di ba, alam nila na in good hands yung mga bata nila dito sa CFSPI na sinusuport ng DSWD through yung license and accreditation. Yan. And then, as to the community naman, yan nga, yung increase of partners or institutions providing services for children. Marami tayong natatouch or marami tayong natatouch na partners na magbigay din ng mga services sa ating communities through our advocacies, ganon. And then yung sa DILG, yung presence ng CSO dito sa lugar mismo, ganon. Okay, na nakakapag-boost doon sa functionality ng isang community. Yan. And then with the challenges naman, yung na-encounter namin sa CFSPI, sa documentation, okay naman kasi we made sure talagang na-maintain yung documentation namin ever since. Tapos close kasi yung coordination with Standards Bureau sa region. Yung isang challenge namin dito is yung, kasi level 3 yung tinatarget nga namin, yung presence ng mga ibang tinatanong sa amin, halimbawa yung manual of operation na dapat daw translate sa dialect na Ilocano kasi yun daw yung ginagamit dito, and then yung capital outlay plan, yung mga ganon, yung 5 years dapat may separation pay daw yung staff namin, ganon. And then during the monitoring nung itong year na to, na may pumunto from central office, nasabi ko nga sa kanya na ma'am, do we need to comply kung ano yung mga to? Hindi ba kami papasa? Tapos sabi niya kasi pasadong-pasado, building pa lang, sa structure pa lang, pasadong-pasado na kayo. Sa programs pa lang, pasado na kayo sa level 3. Sabi niya, kaya yung suggestion niya, actually, hindi daw naman need yung iba na yun na tinatanong sa amin noon. Kaya ang suggestion niya is to reapply for this year or next year for level 3. Kasi okay naman daw, pasado naman daw. Okay, yan. Yan po yung mga ibang isi-share ko na activities or mga outputs ng mga bata natin. And then yan po yung sharing ng aming executive director na si Ma'am Mercy Cabrilas doon sa DSWD page po. Yan. Thank you. Sana may natutunan po kayo and for any questions or queries, paki-chat lang po tapos tingnan po namin kung paano namin masasagot mamaya. Yan. Thank you po.
Thank you po, Miss Cheat. And sure ako, friend, na marami ring natutunan ang ating mga partners na nakikinig sa sharing ng CFSPI. So ito nga, friend, yung ilan sa mga takeaways ko sa sharing ni Miss Cheat. Una, yung pag-maintain ng close coordination nila with DSWD. Second, gusto ko rin yung advance mag-isip si Miss Cheat at ang CFSPI kasi even months before ng expiration ng kanilang accreditation, meron na silang goal and nagpe-prepare na sila para sa reapplication. And lastly, yung isa sa benefits na nabanggit ni Miss Cheat ay yung impact ng accreditation sa brand image and reputation ng CFSPI. Sa ating mga nakikinig dyan, kung meron kayong mga katanungan, feel free to type in lang po sa chat box and i-address po natin yan mamaya sa ating Q&A portion. At ang huli nating sharers ngayong umaga ay sina Miss Maribel Ardales, Assistant Administrator of Hospicio de San Jose, at si Sister Maria Socorro Pilar Evidente, DC. Hospicio de San Jose is a haven of hope for abandoned, neglected, and surrendered children in Manila. So let's welcome Miss Mabel and Sister Cory.
So, magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Good morning, everyone. Ako po si Maribel from Hospicio de San Jose. As our previous sharers already shared about their experiences on Level 1 and Level 2 accreditation, we will be sharing about our experience also as a Level 3 accredited NGO. On the first part, I will be sharing with you our journey in accreditation, and Sister Cory, our administrator for 17 years, will be sharing about the challenges and benefits of being accredited by DSWD. I am most grateful to Sister Cory for joining me during the sharing, although she has been recently relieved of her position as the administrator to recuperate from her cancer and other illnesses. So Hospicio is the first charitable institution in the Philippines, a forerunner of social work, and has been an exemplar of compassion and charity. Since its foundation in 1810, Hospicio de San Jose has stood as a haven of hope for persons in poverty situations from womb to tomb or from infancy to old age. Hospicio was the first NGO in the NCR to be awarded by the DSWD with accreditation status Level 2 in 2010. It was a legacy during the Bicentennial Foundation anniversary. In 2015, Hospicio celebrated the 150th anniversary of the management of the institution. A year before, Sister Cory thought that the best way to celebrate it was through a legacy of quality and excellent service. She felt the urge, and spurred by the charity of Christ, to give a gift to its beneficiaries that goes beyond the temporary joyful celebration. Now, although meeting the demands posed by the SWD standards seemed an impossible dream, Sister Cory, supported by her admin council, decided to take a big leap of faith, and entrusting the endeavor to divine providence, Hospicio slowly worked to accomplish what needs to be done. Resources, both human and material, were sought and stabilized to enable the dream to come true. Thus, in 2015, as seen in the photo, the 4 programs were assessed and individually assessed by DSWD. Now, the seemingly impossible dream became a reality when Hospicio was recognized as the first NGO to be accredited with Level 3 status and declared as a Center of Excellence, having 4 programs under Level 3 accreditation status. Now, although our accreditation certificate was assigned in May 2015, it was personally awarded to us by then Secretary Dinky Suliman in June 2015 during the auspicious celebration of 150th anniversary of the presence of these Daughters of Charity. Here are the rest of the certificates were awarded later in August 2015 at Batasang Pambansa. Here are the photos of the certificates of the 4 programs with 5 years validity back then. Now, what was notable during that accreditation was that it was the first time that the crisis intervention program was subjected for accreditation, and it also passed the Level 3 standards. The DSWD provided a perfect score for all the 4 programs and all the areas of concerns of the accreditation. Now, amidst the pandemic in 2021 to 2022, Hospicio de San Jose underwent the renewal of accreditation of its programs. Prior to the application, we scheduled a consultation conference with the SWD, and as advised, from the original 4 programs, we applied for the accreditation, the Level 3 accreditation of our 7 programs, because this crisis intervention program was divided into 4 sub-programs, including the CIP for Sanctuary, CIP for the abused, trafficked, and exploited children and women, CIP Food for Life for homeless of Manila, and then the CIP Transitory Home for the Homeless in Bulacan. Moreover, since we operate in more than 1 region, we applied the said accreditation at the DSWD and Standards Bureau. Just like the previous sharer po, since the pandemic was still at its peaks, the assessment was done online. We submitted our application and documentary requirements, including the accomplished evaluation tools, to the Standards Bureau. Each program had an assigned assessor from the Standards Bureau, and on the first day, the admin and organizational areas were discussed via focus group discussion. In the subsequent weeks, the individual assessments were done in the areas of program management, case management, helping strategies, and intervention, and then the physical safety. They required us also to submit the scanned copies of follow-up documents which were not available during the initial set of requirements submission. So we created a Google Drive folder for this. At present, we already received the accreditation certificates for our 5 programs with 7 years validity. Bago pala, we received an action plan from the DSWD on the last day of the accreditation process, urging us to still meet some of the lacking documents if there are any, or other to meet the standards, the level 3 standards. So shown in the photo are the certificates of accreditation with 7 years validity for the 5 programs. We are still working on the fire safety and inspection certificates of our 2 programs to complete the 7 programs. Now, all of these certificates were sent via courier since due to pandemic, so no awarding was done. Although, in this last photo or this slide, the cash incentive was awarded face-to-face at the DSWD Region 3 since our transitory home is located in Norsagaray, Bulacan, which is a part of Region 3. Now, on the next part, Sister Cory will share about the pains and gains or the benefits and challenges of being accredited.
Good morning. I was tasked by Maribel to share the benefits and the challenges. First of all, the benefit of accreditation. My camera is not good, but anyway, the benefit of accreditation is to foster quality, the culture of quality. The primary benefit is that in the hope of meeting the level 3 indicators of the SWD standards, the quality of services we provide to our clients is maintained. These indicators serve as our guide, our daily reminder on how to conduct our service. While ensuring safety of the clients and the staff is our responsibility, the accreditation process serves as a reminder and pushing factor in making extra effort to ensure safety of our clients and staff, since it is a non-negotiable requirement of the accreditation and even the renewal of our license. The accreditation process helps the agency identify its strengths in programs and services. We can easily identify the areas where we are doing good and the ways on how we can further improve. Of course, as it reveals the strengths, it also reveals the gaps in different areas. Being a level 3 accredited agency does not mean you have it all and that you no longer need to improve further. Standards change over time. Hence, continuous effort to identify gaps helps in coming with solution on how to mitigate the risk it poses. Accreditation fosters the agency's credibility among clients, partner agencies, donors, and funding agencies. Based on our experience, we received more referrals as we leveled up in the accreditation. It was also easier to establish partnerships and get support from donors and funding agencies because they know that Hospicio has a good track, being a government-recognized level 3 NGO. In fact, partners offer themselves even without being solicited. Accountability also towards partners is a big factor in sustaining credibility and trust. Of course, it is not an absolute assurance that a certain accreditation level would make an agency credible. How the agents, lay and religious relate to others and deliver services also affects credibility. I was asked to share one specific challenge we experienced during the Level 3 accreditation. But I'll be sharing two challenges and how we overcame it, since these were factors that greatly affected our accreditation status. Standards are, of course, created to ensure the quality of services that an organization provides. For us, a nonprofit, non-government organization, especially since we are not an international organization, meeting the standards is a challenge. As the level of accreditation increases, so are the demands in all its areas. The organization and management, ensuring that policies are in place and functional, the human resources, ensuring qualified staff, client ratio, providing continuous education training to the staff, since new ones come in, and those well-trained staff leave for greener pastures, etc. In case management, ensuring that cases follow a specific timeline, properly documented, and safety, ensuring that safety mechanisms are all in place and functional. These are just few of the challenges in meeting the standards demands. Now that we have 7 major programs, finding the money to ensure its continuance is a big challenge. But never underestimate God's loving providence, as long as we serve with love His least and lost ones. For our part, we just have to be creative and inventive to infinity to help ourselves to keep our services going. Emergencies, the most recent, of course, was the COVID-19 pandemic, created a big challenge for us to meet the standards. We had to be creative so that we could still meet the Level 3 standards. Securing documentary requirements is a basic component of running an organization. However, for the recent accreditation, it was especially difficult for us to secure such requirements, like the SEC Certificate of No Derogatory Records, since the SEC office staff was also affected by the pandemic restrictions. Hence, work at home limited availability of the staff. Also, so I had to write a letter to the DSWD as Standards Bureau, informing them of our endeavor in securing the said certificate, since it was beyond our control. Good enough, they gave the consideration and advised us to send an affidavit stating that the SEC Certificate of No Derogatory Record was still being processed. While we were still securing some certificates, other existing certificates already expired, because some of it is only for 6 months validity, so we must renew again and again. Securing certificates means meeting the standards of the agency issuing the certificates. Especially our fire safety inspection certificate took so much of our time, since the Bureau of Fire Protection have new requirements that were not our concern in the previous year. They are now requiring us to install an automatic fire alarm system and a fire suppression system in our main building. The only pending requirements holding back are Level 3 certificates for our 2 programs, the Child and Youth Welfare Program and the Program for Older Persons, since their dormitories are within the main building. Of course, safety of our residents is our priority, but our existing fire safety mechanisms on our main building seem not to comply anymore with the BFP requirements. Hence, we must make efforts to meet their standards. Our 6 months grace period already passed, but we sought for the consideration of the Standards Bureau of the SWD to extend our grace period, as currently we are working on the installation of the fire alarm and the fire suppression system and securing a fire truck of our own. Thankfully, we found good hearts among our partners who committed themselves in helping us with the endeavor. Hopefully, within the month, we can comply with the fire safety certificate. Going through the process of meeting the standards is like being purified through fire. But at the end, the gold in us, the best of us, will shine for the benefit of the persons in poverty situations that we have chosen to embrace in our haven of hope. Being accredited has its pains and gains. However, as a Level 3 accredited NGO, we encourage you to also get accredited. Thank you so much for your attention and a blessed good morning to everyone.
Thank you so much, Miss Mabel and Sister Cory. I know na maraming natutunan yung ating mga participants from them bilang isa sila sa mga ilang Center of Excellence na SWDA dito sa Pilipinas. Gusto kong i-highlight yung tatlong bagay na benefits na sinabi ni Sister Cory. No? Sabi niya, it fosters culture of quality, it fosters credibility, and yung mga indicators doon sa kanilang accreditation, no, it serves as guide in improving and maintaining their programs and services. Pero sabi niya hindi maiiwasan yung demands doon sa accreditation. Una nga doon sa challenges na in-identify niya yung pag-meet ng standard demands at pangalawa yung pag-secure ng documentary requirements. Kaya once again, maraming salamat po Miss Mabel and Sister Cory. Bigyan po natin sila ng heart reacts sa ating Zoom.
Ayan, thank you po muli sa ating mga sharers this morning. At para gawing mas makabuluhan po ang session natin, tayo po ay magkakaroon ng Q&A segment. Ang mga tanong po dito ay nanggaling sa mga Zoom chats nyo po and sa survey po na ating pinadala. So inaanyayahan po natin na makasama sa ating screen ang ating mga speaker and sharers po kanina. Ayan, so tingnan po natin ang question number 1. Addressed to Ms. Leanne of DSWD and other sharers. Does DSWD provide technical assistance to organizations who want to become SWDAs?
Hi, good morning po. Siguro po I'll be the first one to answer. Yes, we provide technical assistance po to everyone who wants to become a SWDA po officially, no? Of course, in the Bureau po, you can always contact us. We always have this available staff to answer all your queries po, especially in complying your documents po, no, as we have mentioned po, kasi we cannot facilitate yung mga documents po pag kulang. So it's very important po na makipag-coordinate na rin tayo agad with our technical staff of the DSWD Standards Bureau or yung mga concerned standard section po natin. Also, we also have yung mga ABSNet po natin. As we have mentioned po kanina, kasama po yung mga shares po natin, no. It's good. It's really good to be joined with other SWDAs po. Kasi doon po makikita niyo po yung mga baka may ng challenge po ninyo and ano yung mga ginawa po nila to overcome the situation po. So yes, we provide technical assistance po. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you so much po Miss Leanne for our question number 2. Ayan. For Miss Leanne pa rin ng DSWD, ang question po ay, may we ask the status of the new draft of accrediting tool for private SWDAs or child caring agencies that facilitate alternative parental care like foster care and adoption?
Yes, opo. With regards po on this, currently po for approval na po siya, nasa management committee na po siya ng department. So after which po, kumbaga nasa process po, after which po, for review and approval po ng aming Execom, and then hopefully ma-approve na po siya within the year. Thank you.
Thank you po, Ms. Leanne. So question number 3 po. to Miss Leanne po ulit. Meeting some requirements can be costly, such as the sprinkler system required by Bureau of Fire. Is it possible to get accredited if we cannot afford this?
Since this is a mandatory requirement po, this is for protection and safety po kasi ng ating um, beneficiaries. So if this is being required by the Bureau of Fire, then we really have to comply po. No? Again, parte po kasi ng pagpo-provide po din natin ng program and services is to ensure the safety and protection of our beneficiaries.
Thank you so much po, Miss Leanne. Baka yung iba nating sharers, no, may gusto silang idagdag doon kung na-encounter din ba nila yung problem doon sa sprinkler. Anyone po from our sharers who wants to answer po yung question natin? Sige po, Sister Cory. Go ahead po.
As I mentioned in my sharing, that's precisely what we are coping with at the moment. We really cannot do anything. Bureau of Fire Protection is really very strict. They have new requirements which were not there in the past years. So we even told them that in the past you were not requiring these things and we were okay. But now you really cannot go through them. So that's why we are still waiting for that. And hopefully we are meeting the requirements, but slowly, because as you mentioned, it's costly.
Yes.
For us, it will entail millions.
So, one thing is sure dito, no, non-negotiable kasi nga mandatory siya. So, lahat, kung nire-require yun, dapat merong sprinkler talaga. Thank you so much po, Miss Leanne and Sister Cory. Now, moving on sa ating question number 4. For all po ito, kay Miss Leanne and sharers, ano po ang financial subsidy na na-mention as benefit ng accreditations? Anyone po from our resource persons?
Sige po, simulan ko po siguro, but I think this is for everybody, no? Yung financial subsidy po, nakalagay, may disclaimer po kasi doon, depending on the availability of funds of the department. But you can always write to the department if you have yung need po for financial subsidy or resource augmentation. And then the department will find if may available funds po tayo to provide po, especially if it caters naman po para po sa ating mga beneficiaries. So, yun po.
Thank you so much, Miss Leanne. Ang clarification lang rin doon, no? Pare-parehas po ba yung financial subsidy na matatanggap ng mga SWDAs or depending ito doon sa kanilang level of accreditation?
Well, it will depend on their proposal. It will depend on the letter that they will submit to the department po. Again, yun, subject po siya sa availability po kasi ng funds ng department.
Thank you so much po. Subject to the availability of funds.
Yes, thank you po.
Next question po tayo. To Miss Leanne, do auxiliary SWDAs have to hire registered social workers?
Sa ngayon po, we do not require po na registered social workers po. For auxiliary SWDAs po, no, we only require at least there is a one full-time worker po doon sa SWDA. Again, for auxiliary SWDAs po.
Okay, thank you po, Miss Leanne. Question number 6.
Question number 6 po, for Miss Leanne pa rin ng DSWD. Can more social workers avail of lakbay-aral training abroad if their NGO has multiple programs accredited as level 3?
Yeah, this is so good po. Magandang question po ito. Siguro I'll take note of this po muna kasi sa ngayon po wala pa po tayong nasasaad specifically na more for social workers na accredited for level 3. But this is good kasi I think kumbaga deserve din ng mga nag-level 3 accredited po ano. So I'll take note of this po and maybe we can look into this and study on this more para po ma-include po natin should there be any enhancement in the future. Thank you po.
Sige po. So next question po tayo. Can we submit soft copies of requirements instead of hard copies? Addressed to Miss Leanne po.
Ayan. Sa noong pandemic po talaga, pandemic time, we really advise the SWDAs to submit the requirements in hard copies. In soft copies po, no? Although we accept po soft copies po ng inyong mga documents through our email, and sa ngayon po kasi nagbalik po tayo sa normal, and we advise po yung ating mga applicant SWDA to submit again your requirements, to submit your requirements in hard copies po. But that is while, ano lang naman po, kasi meron po kaming dine-develop, actually nasa na po siya, launching stage na po siya, yung e-services po ng department. Pag ito po ay nagpangyari na po, lahat na po ng ating requirements talaga ay soft copy na po natin isasubmit. So, yun po yung kagandahan. So, can we submit soft copies of requirements? Yes, you can submit po through our official email po, no? Yun po yung ating sagot po doon. And soon, let us all together pray na fully ma-implement na po yung e-services natin. Kasi mas maganda po yun, no? Mas efficient po siya for every one of us.
Okay, so thank you po, Miss Leanne. For question number 8.
For question number 8 po, for all, can an agency jump to being accredited level 3 without going through levels 1 and 2? For all? Pwede kaya sila mag-jump, no? Doon na sa level 3 agad-agad. Hindi na sila dadaan doon sa level 1 or level 2. Sige po, anyone po from our resource persons?
Sige po, simulan ko po ulit. Pero baka may po yung iba, yung mga sharer din po natin, no? Yes, you can naman po. Actually, if for example, in your first application, na-meet nyo na po si level 3 standards, then it's good, di ba po? Ibig sabihin, talagang nakita po ng ahensya ng department that you are able to provide yung best na, yung talagang standard talaga ng mga services po natin. So, yes po, for example, if you are level 1 right now and you aim na level 3 na yung susunod nyo, then mas maganda po. No? But of course, that is without pressure po. No? Kumbaga, if you are level 1 ngayon, you can always work on para maging level 2 muna and then level 3. Pa isa-isang step. Pero yon, again, if kaya po natin, so why not? Mas maganda po yan. We will support you po on that endeavor. So yeah, thank
Meron
you.
po ba sa ating sharers, other sharers na nag-jump?
Oo, baka
agad?
na-experience na nila, no? Pakinggan natin yung mga ibang sharers natin. Si Sister Cory. Sige po, go ahead po, Sister Cory.
It was mentioned earlier that for our CIP Food for Life program, CIP program in 2015, the first time that we subjected our Tahan Center and sanctuaries, etc., for accreditation, it went straight to level 3.
Wow. So yun, example, no? Ang galing. Palakpakan naman natin yung Hospicio de San Jose. Ang bilis. Level 3 agad. Thank you so much po, Sister Cory, for that sharing, and Miss Leanne for the answer. Sige po. Question number 9, tingnan natin. For all, can we be assessed for a higher level of accreditation even if our accreditation is not expiring soon? So kanina ang tanong, pwede bang mag-jump? Kayo naman, hindi pa tapos yung expiration, magpapa-accredit na sila. Pwede kaya yon? Baka may gusto pong sumagot from our shares or base po sa experience nila or from Miss Leanne of DSWD.
Sige po. Yes, pwede naman po. Just write again, you have to submit your intent para magma-assessment po ulit, mag-undergo ng accreditation process po natin. If yon, kung ready na po kayo magpa-assess po for higher level na po.
Siguro gusto ko lang rin idagdag na question dito, friend, yung pwede kaya na level 1 yung accreditation ko, for example, ngayon, tapos magpapa-accredit ako ulit ng level 1. Parang hindi ko pa kaya na magpa-level 2 kasi mag-e-expire na. Pwede kaya yun?
Yes, pwede pa rin naman po. No, kumbaga, isa-status quo nyo po yung inyong level. I-renew nyo po yung inyong accreditation certificate.
Okay, thank you po, Miss Leanne. And for our last question, addressed to all our sharers po, how can we streamline processes related to finance, HR, and case management so it will not be difficult to work on the documents required for accreditation?
Magandang tanong, no? Interesting. Paano nga ba pabibilisin?
Paano mas-streamline
paano mas-streamline?
yung internal processes na meron sa mga organizations para mas mabilis din yung process ng pag-apply for accreditation. Sa ating mga sharers po,
Baka sila meron silang experience na, di ba?
Siguro po dito, yung question niya is how we can streamline processes. Ibig sabihin po ba dito yung documentation or the processes itself sa loob ng organization? Kung yung documentation, ang ginawa po kasi namin, doon naman sa assessment tool ng accreditation is may sections po yon, yung admin and organization, case management, helping interventions, and yung facilities. So nabanggit ko po kanina, ang ginawa namin is binangga namin yung mga items, which is nasa assessment tool po yun, versus dun sa mga documents or processes na meron na ang yung focus in place. So, doon po mas mapapadali para makita po natin yung kung ano na yung available sa organization at kung ano pa po yung hindi natin napapractice para yun po yung i-work out. And doon po tayo pwedeng makahingi ng assistance from the SWD in terms of anong ibig sabihin nitong, kung meron man po kayong confusion na anong ibig sabihin ng DSWD dito sa section na ito, or kailangan ba namin itong i-comply, or kami po kasi level 1. So, although meron pong mga kaming natitik na level 2, although yung points namin is doon lang po talaga pumasok doon sa level 1, pero at least alam namin na pwede na kami in the near future siguro mas i-aim namin na mag level 2. Pero in terms of finance po, may mga section din doon. Alam niyo po kung ano yung mga financial documents or standards na hinahanap ng DSWD. For example, yung work and financial plan, yung mga audited financial documents, which is sa lahat naman po siguro sa atin is already available. And sa HR naman po, madalas yung mga manual of operations and yung pandemic, additional guidelines on during the pandemic in delivering our services, and yung mga job description. So siguro mas nasuggest ko po is isa-isahin po natin yung mga segments na yon, anong categories po ba yung meron na kami. Ganun din po sa case management and helping interventions.
Thank you so much, Miss Bell. Nagtaas po ng kamay si Sister Cory. Baka may gusto po siyang i-share.
When you talk about streamlining processes, kasi wag na accredit ka na halimbawa na level 1 or level 2 or level 3, whatever level, there is such a thing as maintaining sustainability. Yung sinasabi palaging sa katapusan ng letter ng DSWD, sustain it. So in sustaining it, you have to continue doing what was asked by the DSWD. If they require 2 years work and financial plan, you have to be ready with that always, because they visit anytime. They monitor, even if they say 7 years pang accreditation, they monitor after a year. So you really have just to streamline and you have to just continue doing what they require. Yun lang yun.
Thank you so much po, Sister Cory. May gusto pong idagdag si Miss Chit. Go ahead po.
Yan. Siguro yung isa po dito na maidadagdag ko na good practice din ng CFSPI is yung talagang collaboration din with finance, admin at case management team. Hindi lang kasi monopoly ito na dahil programs yung ina-accredit, si program lang yung gagawa. So bali yung we meet every now and then para ma-update as part of the monitoring and evaluation din kasi. So para ma-update kung ano man yung mga documents natin related doon sa finance, HR man yan or with regard to doon sa accreditation natin.
Thank you so much, Miss Chit. Ang ganda nung last question natin, no? Dahil nakakuha pa tayo ng ilang mga tips mula sa ating share. Sabi ni Miss Bell, pwede ninyong gamitin yung tool, yung indicator sa tool para ibangga kung ano yung mga meron na kayo. At meron kayong mga means of verification. At kung merong mga hindi malilinaw na parte ng indicators na yon, open palagi ang DSWD to answer your clarifications. Sabi naman ni Sister Cory, pagkatapos ninyo ma-accredit, hindi yun doon nagtatapos, sabi niya. Kailangan i-sustain ito. No? Tuloy-tuloy, hindi siya porket natapos ni accreditation, tapos na yon. I-sustain, i-maintain yung accreditation. Ibig sabihin, same process ng ginagawa ninyo, gagawin pa rin. And then sa third na share natin, hinighlight ni Ms. Chit na hindi porket programs and services lang yung ina-accredit, hindi na makikipag-cooperate or collaborate yung ating admin, finance, and HR personnel. So thank you so much po for your sharings and answers. Maraming salamat po.
Ayan, dahil po limited lang ang ating oras ngayon, kailangan po nating putulin ang ating Q&A portion. Pero wag po kayong mag-alala dahil pwede pa rin po kayong mag-send ng inyong follow-up questions or clarifications kahit po matapos na yung ating session ngayon. So our lines are always open po. You can email us for your further queries. Ifo-forward po namin ito sa ating mga resource persons at babalikan po namin kayo para ma-address po ang inyong mga concerns.
Ayun. Again, thank you po sa ating mga shares at resource person. Kung kanina sila ang ating tinatanong, ngayon naman sa dakong ito, yung mga participants naman natin ang tatanungin natin. No? At ang aming tanong sa inyo ay hashtag anong say mo. Maaari po ninyong i-type or i-chat sa ating Zoom chat kung ano po ang inyong insights, ang inyong pong learnings or aha moments mula sa session natin ngayong umaga. Ayan, parang meron na mga naglagay, no? Pero keep them coming po. Pero before natin sila puntahan, friend, ano ba yung insights or aha or learning mo sa session natin ngayon?
Sige, share ko lang.
Share mo lang.
Ang aking
SKL.
announce.
Okay, go.
Hashtag SKL. Ayun, yung isa sa aha moments ko kanina ay pati pala public SWDAs kailangan mag-undergo sa DSWD accreditation para ma-ensure na ang mga programs and services ay at its finest quality, best quality. At yung isa pang namutawi sa ating mga resource speakers ngayong umaga ay yung partnership talaga between DSWD and the organizations and maging yung organizations to organizations. Meron silang mga parang support system kahit nasabihin nating masalimuot o kaya ay madugo ang proseso ng accreditation. Hindi lang DSWD accreditation pero maging yung iba pa nating pinagdaraan ng mga accreditation. So napakalaking bagay na meron tayong support system through the partner orgs na meron tayo sa ngayon.
Ang ganda naman ng iyong sharing, friend. Ako naman, isa sa mga realization na gusto kong i-highlight mula dito sa ating naging session ay yung accreditation kasi pag naririnig siya ng mga ilang partners natin, parang medyo natatakot, no? Medyo natatakot at para bang another work na naman, no? Ang na-realize ko dito sa naging talakayan natin ngayong umaga ay hindi lamang ito binibigay, no, hindi lang ito basta binigay ng DSWD dahil gusto nila na pahirapan yung mga centers, mga agencies, hindi yun ganon. Gusto lamang ng agency, ng DSWD na i-ensure yung quality ng programs, ng services na binibigay natin sa ating mga beneficiaries dahil after all these processes will redound doon sa quality ng work na binibigay natin sa ating mga beneficiaries. Yun ang aking SKL for this morning.
SKL. So tingnan natin, basahin natin sa Zoom chat ang mga anong say mo answers ng ating mga participants.
Meron na ba silang anong say mo or SKL nila? Anong say mo? Yon, sabi niya, thanks Miss Chit. Very nice sharing and presentation from Miss Marisa of Helping Hands Ministries.
Yung isa pa ay the CFSPI has a nice facility and it would be interesting to know what you do. When I visit Baguio, your agency will likely be on my plan. So thank you, Cheat, from Mr. Go of Concordia. At may pahabol pa, the DSWD program accreditation is our strong brand that brings integrity and credibility in our delivery for greater social impact. It is also our brand that establishes our commitment to competence and innovation in non-profit management.
Ayan, sabi rin ng AHA Learning, sabi niya, na-appreciate ko na ma-refresh sa proseso ng accreditation. Thank you, napaka-informative, detailed, and as always, Consuelo handled sessions like this na super engaging. Sabi niya, salamat din sa mga tips from other NGOs.
Ayan, at thank you po sa mga patuloy na nagpapadala ng kanilang mga insights and learnings. So bago po tayo mag-part ways, ayan, tinatawagan namin ang manager po ng Strategic Innovations Unit ng Consuelo, Attorney Maya Unico, para i-close na po ang ating session today.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of Consuelo Foundation, thank you for being with us this morning. Mainit na mainit yung naging talakayan natin, no? Malayo sa maulan na panahon sa ating bedweather sa labas. We're very grateful that we all had the chance to get together this morning and learn together about the requirements and process for DSWD accreditation, and of course, how this will be beneficial to us. So thank you, Ma'am Lian, for your inputs. DSWD has been a long-time partner of Consuelo, and we are very grateful for the time and the guidance you shared with all of us this morning. Siyempre, yung mga ganitong learning sessions natin, lagi siya napapalalim, no? Pag nakakadinig tayo ng mga stories na sinishare ng ating partner. So, thank you, Young Focus. Thank you, CFSPI, and thank you, Hospicio de San Jose, for generously sharing with us your experiences and stories. I'm sure all of our partners here with us this morning were inspired sa mga nakwento nyo. And nakita naman natin, no, the requirements and the whole process seem to be daunting, but it can be done. So, let's make it happen. Ayan, so mulit-muli, salamat po mula sa amin sa Consuelo Foundation sa patuloy nating samahan sa pag-share ng inyong panahon ngayong umaga. Ingat po kayo, stay safe and dry, and hanggang sa muli nating pagkikita-kita.
Thank you so much, Attorney, sa iyong closing message. Bago natin makalimutan, friend, no, atin nang i-announce yung dalawang winners ng ating Energizer kanina na pinamagatang Zoom In, Zoom Out. Sila ay makakatanggap ng 200 pesos via GCash at sila ay sina... May sarili tayong
Sariling sikap
tayo. At ang nanalo sa ating game ay si Miss Abigail Rianzores ng South Philippines at si Mr. Ding Pionso ng Right Start. Congratulations po!
At may special prize din tayo para sa ating early bird. Siya ay si Miss Cynthia Manalo ng Jeremiah Foundation.
Congratulations po! Makikipag-ugnayan ko sa inyo si Miss Mercy ng Consuelo Team kung paano po ninyo makiklaim ang inyong prizes. Again, congratulations to all winners.
Ayan, so ngayon naman po ay inaanyayahan namin ang lahat kung okay lang po na mag-video on para sa ating photo op. Ayan. So Miss Ada po will direct us in our picture taking.
Buksan naman nila ang kanilang video, no, para makita natin ang kanilang kagandahan at kagwapuhan.
Okay, so ready na po ba ang lahat? Waki! Charot, waki agad. Smile!
Wala pa daw.
Wala
isa
pa raw. Sige po, yung mga komportable lang pong mag-video on.
Ayan.
Sige
Smile
po,
lang po
smile
kayo
lang
dyan.
po tayo. Smile na po pala tayo.
Ngiting-ngiti ako dito, friend. Sana yung mga participants din natin na para makita natin
Oo
ilang
nga.
faces.
Or kahit naka-video off po, nakangiti pa rin sa puso.
Gusto ko yun.
Okay. Ayan, mga 72, ano po kasi ito yung Windows.
Sobrang dami, friend.
Oo, hanggang mamaya pala.
Okay
Ayan,
na.
okay na raw po.
At dahil okay na ang ating photo op, dito nga po nagtatapos ang ating ikalawang Consuelo Learning Series para sa taong 2022. Kami po ang inyong naging host. Ako po si Dan.
And I am Angela, and this has been Good Credit ang Ma-accredit, DSWD Accreditation for Social Welfare and Development Agencies.
Maraming salamat po. Bye-bye po.